Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pacer Baseball. After a long break, we finally returned to Roberto Hernandez Stadium, where the USC Aiken Pacers take on the Emmanuel Lions. I'm Marcus Johnson, and along with Jordan Phillips, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back, and I'm glad to be back on the broadcast table after spending a couple games away on the social media side of things. But we got an exciting matchup for you today between the Pacers and the Emmanuel Lions. Emmanuel comes into this game with an 11-20 record. Not doing so hot on the road, this team. They're 1-11 in games that they're playing away. They're going to hope to turn their fortunes around against the Pacers, who are incredibly hot when they are in Roberto Hernandez Stadium, boasting a 14-2 record once they're here, and they're 21-9.
That they were on.
Getting through this inning quick could be a big thing for him.
Fly ball out into left field. Price coming over and making the catch for the first out. Let's go over the Pacer defense while we have the chance. Brian Pereira backing up the plate. He's catching for Jimmy Lynch. Over at first base, we have John Banks, Skylar Mercado at second, Tyler Emmerman at short, and Dalton Weeks at third. As we said, Mitchell Price out in left field, Jose Bonilla in his usual spot at center, and Niall Goings finishes things off in right field.
Niall Goings continuing to have a good season at the plate.
And a short hopper to Weeks, throws it to first and gets the out. Brock Bokum didn't even get a chance to introduce him as he has a one-pitch, one-out at bat.
We'll be sure to give you the rundown on Bokum next time around.
Indeed. That brings up Eric Pape, the first baseman for the Lions.
Pape hitting .311 this season, also starting and playing in all 31 games for the Lions this season.
First pitch right there for strike one.
Pape with 106 at-bats this season and 33 hits. Also with 36 RBIs.
Ooh,
good
that
for the
went
team
off the
lead.
top of his helmet. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no.
a scary moment there, but it just skimmed the top of his helmet, and he'll take first base on the hit by pitch.
It's good to see that he is heading over to first and walking after getting that skimming right off the top of his helmet. Never really know what to expect with those pitches that come off of the helmet like that. Good to see that that one wasn't a more costly pitch for Lynch.
That'll bring up Hannon Price, the left fielder for the Lions. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Check swing, did he go? Looks like he did. 0-1 count.
Price also a very hot hitter for the Lions this season. Again, starting and playing in all 31 games, but with a .402 average.
Kind of what you expect from your cleanup hitter. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Chasing one a little outside. 0-2.
He's got 43 hits on the season with 18 RBIs. An impressive .598 slugging percentage.
And the 0-2. Right down the middle, call strike 3, and a quick inning here. And welcome back. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Jose Bonilla will lead off. He has a 1-0 count. Bonilla batting .429 on the year. Takes a pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. Bonilla also the only player on the Pacer team that has started all 30 games. And he grounds one over to second. It's off the glove and rolls into center field for a base hit.
And the Pacers starting off the game as they have so many times this season with a Bonilla single.
Yeah, Bonilla's been just a very consistent hitter.
Now batting, number 10.
A real bright spot on this team.
Oh, absolutely, and he raises his already impressive average of .429.
That'll bring up John Banks. Banks batting .355 on the year, 4 home runs and 16 RBIs.
Yeah, Banks a big bat in that Pacer lineup. He's been a big part of this team after his shift over to first base at the start of the season.
So runner on first, nobody out for Banks. And he fouls one way off, almost into the parking lot for strike one.
He got some power behind that one. Straighten it out a little bit, that would have been trouble. Or a lot of it, but
I get what you mean.
Banks, of course, hitting that grand slam against North Greenville the other day on that road trip that we were talking about earlier.
Check throw over to first. Yeah, that game against North Greenville, one of their only 2 wins.
Avenging that loss to North Greenville, interestingly enough, that they picked up earlier on this season here at Roberto Hernandez Stadium, one of the 2 losses that the Pacers have here.
And so a bit of revenge, the 0-1. This is way outside. 1-1. On the mound today for the Emmanuel Lions, Daniel Gooden, a 13.5 ERA and 0-1 record in 10 appearances and 1 start.
Total of 16.2 innings pitched.
Mostly a reliever. The 1-1. High and inside, 2-1.
And Gooden definitely has a hard task on his hands today to keep this Pacer lineup quiet. They've got some big bats all throughout the lineups. Guys with a lot of power, guys who can get on base.
And speaking of guys on base, Jose Bonilla, real threat to steal. Line drive to third, though. That's not going to get Bonilla anywhere as he dives back to first to avoid the double play.
It was a really well-hit ball by Banks, unfortunately just right at the third baseman. Those are always a bummer for a hitter.
Yeah, good solid contact, but right where a defender was sitting and waiting for it.
Number 1, Mitchell Price.
That'll bring up Mitchell Price, another speedster. Price and Bonilla competing for who has the most stolen bases on the year. Bonilla has 10, Price has 8, believe it or not. Price's batting average of .320 on the year. 4 triples, 9 home runs, and 35 RBIs.
Yeah, Price has done some good work this season, gotten a few clutch hits.
That's mostly what it is. His average isn't as hot as it could be, but he's at least getting those clutch hits when you need him to.
The Pacers have been getting those clutch hits from a few players throughout the lineup that you wouldn't expect. Guys like Tyler Amram with his 2 walk-off hits to his credit this season.
And a hopper to second. This could be 2. Throw to second for 1. The throw to first is not in time. Price manages to beat it out. Keep the inning going.
And that's where that speed comes in handy for Mitchell Price. You don't get the good hit that you want. You know you're not going to get a base hit, but at least you got the speed to leg it out and get to first. Fielder's choice isn't ideal, but it does keep the inning going.
And Niall Goings coming to the plate now.
And Goings, as we mentioned earlier, hitting the ball pretty well this season. He's hitting .347 on the season with 4 home runs and 16 doubles. Or 16 RBIs, excuse me. Not 16 doubles. He has 8 doubles.
First pitch missed outside for ball 1.
Got to shake off the rust. Back on the broadcast table for the first time in a little while.
Low and outside for a ball, 2-0.
With the speed on first, Goings should be looking for something to drive here, but I'm sure he wouldn't take a walk as he goes up quickly 2-0.
And And he lines one right to second for the third out. So some good contact, just some fortunate placement for Emmanuel. Ends the bottom of the first inning. Go to the top of the second. No score. And we are back, top of the second inning. No score yet between the Pacers and the Lions. Philip Swindell up to bat, leading things off, the catcher for the Lions. And first pitch low and away for ball one.
And Swindell hitting .329 this season with 14 RBIs to his credit. It was a beautiful pitch from Lynch that time. Just absolutely painted the corner.
And it falls right into the strike zone, evens things up. Goes with the same pitch. Swindell fouls it off for strike two.
And the key for Lynch this game, I think, is going to be innings like he had in that first. Just quick innings, getting guys out, and limiting his pitch count. He's got a history as a reliever, so you don't want him to go too deep into his pitch count.
Fly ball out into right field. Goings trying to chase after it. Catches up and makes the catch for the first out.
A smooth little play for Goings out there, but at-bats like that. 3 pitches and an out. That's the key for Lynch. You want longevity from him, so you want him to keep his pitch count low.
Well, and a lot of times in his past, I remember last season he was mostly a closer, and he was a very effective closer. So far, so good today.
Yeah, exactly. So far, so good. Doing well so far. Let's hope that continues into the latter half of the game.
And the 0-1 pitch is fouled off. I had to wait for the call. Connor Smith, the batter, DH for today's game.
And Smith hitting .250 on the season. He's played in 12 games. He's actually making his first start of the season.
The 0-2, swing and a miss for strike three, and the second out. 6 pitches, 2 outs for Lynch.
Good work for Lynch.
Now batting number 36, second baseman, Chase Livingston.
That'll bring up Chase Livingston over at second base. And he grounds one over to Weeks, and it's off the heel of his glove, bounces into the air. And Livingston will reach on that. We'll see how they officially score it.
Now batting Dallas Richards, shortstop, number 4.
Haven't quite scored it yet, and they're going to score it as a hit.
It was a hard shot to third, so not too surprising.
Yeah, probably just off the lip of Weeks' glove. Just took a tricky hop.
It took a tree hop and hit him right in the heel of the glove, right where your palm may be exposed. Dallas Richards up to the plate, shortstop today. First pitch was low and away, and he was able to hold back his swing for ball one.
Richards hitting .233 on the season.
finds the strike zone, 1-1.
Lynch looked really crisp, really solid out there on the mound so far. And another beautiful pitch.
Swing and a miss, and they may have the runner in a rundown. Throw back to first, and it is in time for the third and final out. That'll do it here in the second inning. Kind of a 1-2-3 inning.
In a way.
And we go to the bottom of the second, still tied, 0-0. And we're back. Bottom of the second inning coming up. Zach Moon will lead it off for the Pacers. All tied up at 0-0.
And the Pacers have been getting exactly what they needed from starter Jimmy Lynch so far. Now the Bats have to do their job.
First pitch to Moon on the outside corner for strike one.
And Moon comes into this game batting .301. Not quite as high as it has been throughout the season, but a chance to turn it around here. Ooh.
Well, not on that, as it hits him square in the numbers, and he'll take first on the hit by pitch.
Yeah, that one hurt.
That won't hurt his average, and it won't help his average. So
Won't hurt his average, but it might hurt his back a little bit. Oof.
But it will help his on-base percentage at least.
Absolutely. And technically, there's our first Moon walk of the night.
Well, not really a walk, a hit by pitch.
We'll
The Moon was struck by a meteor.
The Moon had a little bit taken off of it by a meteor, a rogue flying object.
That'll bring up Brian Pereira, 308 average of his own, 1 home run, 15 RBIs.
And that lone home run coming here at Roberto Hernandez Stadium, so we'll see if he might get another one of those here tonight.
First pitch crosses the strike zone.
That was a beauty.
Nice little slider there.
Had a nice little bit of movement on it from Gooden that time. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and go back to that pitch again.
The 0-1. Misses.
Just-
Yep, misses inside. I thought the call was tied up on an off-speed pitch. He goes down for the first out.
Some good pitching from Gooden, but struggling on his throwbacks to the mound is Philip Swindell.
Well, luckily, the runner on first is Zach Moon, and as we've said before, he does not steal bases.
Yeah, base stealing is not in Zach Moon's arsenal. You don't have to worry about Zach Moon taking a base.
And I just checked, he has no stolen bases this year. Dalton Weeks up to bat now. First pitch on the outside corner for strike one. Another off-speed pitch finds the strike zone, 0-2. The 0-2. High and outside, ball one. And the 1-2. Weeks reaches out after it, fouls it off, keeps the count right where it is. The 1-2. Grounded foul.
Well hit, just foul.
Once again, the 1-2 pitch. Misses outside, evens the count up at 2-2.
Good eye that time from Weeks. Tried to get him chasing, but no dice.
And he's starting to get a little more patient at the plate now. And he swings and misses as I say that and goes down on strikes for the second out.
And this has become a bit of a little pitcher's matchup here. Gooden has made some really nice pitches in this inning particularly. He started to find that slider of his, and it's done really good work in this inning.
And we'll see how the Pacers can adjust. They are a hitting team. And we'll see if that comes 5.
Yeah, we just learned that a few moments ago, so an impressive accolade for Ammerman, showing some good discipline at the plate, if nothing else.
And it certainly helps the on-base percentage. Fouls off that pitch, 0-2 the count. His batting average is .250. He himself has 3 triples, 4 home runs, and 17 RBIs.
And that's about where Ammerman has been sitting all season, around that 250, 255 range. But he's another one of those players that has been coming up in really big situations and getting hits.
Right down the middle for strike 3. And Daniel Gooden strikes out the side as we go into the top of the 3rd inning, still tied 0-0.
Had a lot of power behind it from Weeks for the way he threw it. I don't know if you noticed, but he just kind of flicked his wrist, and the ball just went flying out of his hand. That shows how strong of an arm he's got over there at third base.
Yeah, you need to have a strong one in order to play third. That's a long way between bags.
Well, he just makes those routine plays look so, or he makes those crazy plays look so simple.
Popped up in foul territory. That's going to go off the Lion dugout. Count on 1-2, Steven Skeggs, top of the order.
Banks coming in the way is where he struggles the most, but he's looked fantastic.
And welcome to the bottom of the 3rd inning. I was a little ahead of myself. It was actually Dallas Richards who led off because I forgot that his at-bat was interrupted. So when Richards, Manning, and then Steven Skeggs, Bochum will lead off coming into the top of the 4th. For the Pacers now, Skylar Mercado leading off. 1-0 count.
And Mercado hitting .250 on the season.
Pitch missed outside, 2-0. But how about that inning-ending catch by Bonilla, just coming in and sliding like that, making the grab?
That was gorgeous. That was a beautiful catch by Bonilla out there in center field, and he's, to be honest, I was a little bit worried about that one. I don't know why I was, because he's made those amazing plays, those highlight reel plays look so routine this season, but I saw all 3 guys converging on it at once, and at first I thought Bonilla might have fallen, but he actually just did a little fun little slide there and snatched that pitch that hit right off the ground before it hit, and that was beautiful.
He's been a solid fielder, solid hitter. all-around good guy.
Absolutely.
For the Pacers.
All-around good guy. I like that. I like that for Bonilla. He's done really well this season.
3-1 count on Mercado, and he will draw the leadoff walk to get things going here in the bottom of the third.
You and I, we gush about Bonilla at every chance we get, but, I mean, for good reason.
He's a solid player. I don't know how many times you have to say it, but you can never say it enough, I guess. Solid player, and he comes up now with one on and nobody out. Singled his first time up. Was part of an unfortunate fielder's choice from Mitchell Price, but...
Well, a chance to have a big inning, which the Pacers could use right now. No score as of yet, and Jimmy Lynch looking fantastic. So they want to get some points to put a little cushion underneath him.
And count 1-0 as Bonilla lets the first pitch go by for ball one.
And a good chance to do it here with speed on first and Bonilla at the plate.
Yeah, he could lay down a bunt and get a base hit out of it.
He's
definitely
just that
kind of a guy.
He definitely could. I mean, he's got a great bunt.
And he's going to ground that one foul. Strike one, 1-1.
He can get you that sack bunt if he needs to, but he's also fast enough and he's talented enough at laying those bunts down right where you need them that he can get on base too if the Emmanuel Lions aren't careful.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to try to show a bunt here after a swing. And check throw over to first. Mercado makes it back because he wanted. It looked like he almost wanted to drive the infielders back a little bit, and he's got a 1-1 count. He could easily try to lay down another bunt.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does right here try to lay a bunt down that third base side.
And the 1-1. He's going to let that go by for ball two, so it looks like he's going to stay up there and swing.
Which is not a problem either. He's got good line drive power. He's not a home run hitter. I mean, you don't expect it out of your leadoff man, but he's really good at spraying balls all to all sides of the field, and he's really good with line drive power as he hits to the gap and he makes them roll to the fence, and those are tragic when Bonilla is at the plate.
And the 2-1, and he hits one well out into right field. That one is going to be on the track and caught. That's probably the farthest I've seen Bonilla hit one. I almost got excited.
I did too. I was actually worried for a second. I was like, come on, man, don't make me look stupid. Don't do that. I just said you don't hit home runs.
Well, he'll fly out there on the warning track for out number one. Yeah, he still hasn't hit a home run this season, but that came as close as I think he might get this year.
You know, that does seem to happen to me a lot, though. As soon as I'm like, he's not really a home run hitter. Like the one time we were talking about Mercado, it was like he's in the 9-hole, he's a good leadoff type hitter, not a real home run hitter, and then he smacked one over left center. I was like, okay, we'll take that. That's fine, okay.
I'll bring up John Banks with 1 on, 1 out. Flew out his first time up, and by flew out, I mean he lined out to third.
And it was a really well-hit ball by Banks, just unfortunate placement for him. And just hit it right to the third baseman. Didn't even have to move to make the play.
Yeah, it was just solid contact, but the third baseman was playing right where he needed to be. Pitch is inside 2-0.
And Banks, however, is a home run hitter, with 4 on the season and a grand slam being one of those 4.
The 2-0. Right down the middle for strike one.
And then a timeout will be taken. A little bit of a meeting of the minds on the mound.
Just going over stuff. Not really sure what. Possibly changing signs.
I think they may be discussing where to go for dinner tonight. And personally, I would recommend Willie Jules Barbecue, the sponsors of this broadcast.
Yeah, Willie Jules. Every dish is served with a side of Southern hospitality. But Mercado was sitting over on second. He took that one without anybody really noticing.
I didn't notice that either. Wow, when did he? No, he didn't tag.
I'm not entirely sure how he got over there,
What
but he got
happened?
over there.
He must have stole it quietly.
And a hopper slowly to short. This is going to be a tough play. Throw to first is in time, but that will advance Mercado over to third base.
And we saw how he got to third. We might have to rewatch the film later and see how he got to first or how he got to second, because I did not notice it. He didn't tag after the pop out from Bonilla, so he must have stolen it.
We'll consult with the minds in the scorer's box momentarily. That'll bring up Mitchell Price.
Number 1. Mitchell Price.
Price grounded into a fielder's choices last time up. And he hits one into center field. And making the catch is Manning for the third and final out. So Pacers will leave a runner stranded on third as we go into the top of the fourth. Still no score. And we're back. Top of the fourth inning. No score yet between the Emmanuel Lions and USC Aiken Pacers. Brock Bokum coming to the plate. Grounded out his first time up. First pitch is low for ball one.
And he grounded out quickly, so let's go ahead and introduce Bokum. He's got a 302 average coming into the game today with 13 RBIs on the season and a 3.44 slugging percentage.
And he grounds one slowly to short. Ammerman's got to charge it and throw quickly. He does, and he gets the out at first for the first out.
It's a nice play by Ammerman. I didn't think he was going to have a chance on that one. That was a really weird hit ball by Bokum.
Very, very slow, almost like it was in slow motion. But
yeah, like Lynch went to make the play on it, but it was like too slow for him to get over to it. It was really strange.
And they didn't. And Ammerman and even Weeks didn't really look like they were in much of a hurry to get that, and they got the out anyway. But still,
yeah,
it's just very strange.
That was a very strange hit, or a very strange out for the Pacer defense.
That'll bring up Eric Pape, who was hit by a pitch his first plate appearance.
Didn't mention this earlier, but Pape is leading the Lions with 8 home runs this season.
He's a big guy there. You can definitely tell. And he's going to ground one through the left side for a base hit.
And that'll bring his average up a little bit higher, hitting .311 coming into the game.
So runner on first now for Hannon Price. One out here in the top of the fourth.
Now batting number 24, left fielder, Hannon Price.
Price looking to catch fire here and continue his hot streak for the Lions with a man on first. I would imagine Lynch is probably going to go for something low here, look to get a ground ball.
And he's going to get a line to Weeks over at third. However, Pape wasn't moving very far from the bag, so that'll be the second out.
I'd like to say that pitch was low.
It was low, but it wasn't a grounder at all.
This is just a well-hit ball by Price that time. Just didn't quite get the result he wanted.
That'll bring up Philip Swindell. Flew out his last time up, which also was his first time up. Got 1 on and 2 out. Top of the fourth inning. No score. Pitch in the dirt for ball one.
This game has turned into something I don't think either one of us really expected. A nice little pitcher's duel going out here right now. And I got to say, I'm loving it. It looks, both guys on the mound, both Gooden and Lynch have looked fantastic so far in this game.
Here's the 1-0. Right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. And the 1-1. That's going to be hit into right field for a base hit. 2 on with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th, and it looks like the Lions may have something going.
And the key for Lynch here is to shut this down. Slam the door before any damage is done. You're not in great position here, but you got 2 guys on. And you got a man coming up to the plate in Connor Smith. He's only hitting 250. You want to attack this guy. You want to attack the zone on him and see if you can get your fastball by him. You get out of this inning without any damage done.
Well, he struck out his first time up.
No need to change your approach. I mean, what you've been doing has worked. You got a couple of base runners, but nothing tragic yet.
First pitch fouled off into...
And that's trouble.
Indeed, indeed. 0-1 count. Pitch misses inside, 1-1. Completely.
Now's the time to get something done. That as well, with 4 home runs this season, and one of those could come in real handy for the Pacers here. In a game like this that's so close, runs are extremely important, and you don't want to strand 2 guys on.
That one grounded right back to the mound. And a little flip to first, and that will do it. Pacers do leave 2 stranded as we go into the top of the 5th. All zeros across the board as we're tied up 0-0.
Starter role in a